Welcome everybody to today's video. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about the verb ir, which in Spanish is a very, very, very important word because it means to go. And since we're talking about places around town and moving around the city, we're going to need to know the word to go because we want to be able to say, I am going to the store, or you are going to the park, or he is going to such and such house, or anything like that. And in order to say all of those things, we need the word to go. That is ir. So let's dive right into this word and see how it's used. Here we go. So right here, we have our verb chart. And we can see from this verb chart that if we were to take it like a normal IR verb, because it ends in IR, so if we did the normal thing of dropping off the IR and replacing it with those endings, we would end up with something like this. We would have O, S, A, emos, and N. And those ones are not going to work. This already means or, so that one's out of it. This already means is, so that one's out. This means in, so that one's out. So it's just no. No, we can't just have it like this. We need something else. So in order to get something else, because obviously this is not going to work, they went with this route here. Get rid of this and replace it with another one. Now the first thing they said they're going to do is instead of following the normal pattern, because obviously, like we saw, that normal pattern is just not going to work, they said everything is going to start with a V. Why? Because we can. That's really it. There's no reason that I know of. It's just because we want to. So that's what it is. So we're going to start with V's. And then instead of following the IR chart like this one typically would, we're not going to follow IR, and we're not going to follow ER because IR and ER are basically the same thing. We are going to follow the AR chart. So this one is going to go O, as, a, amos, ice, on. And we go like that. So that is what we end up with one additional addition. Right here, we add a extra Y because we don't want to just say boy or vo. We want to say boy. And along with this V, if you'll remember, is not pronounced like a V, like in English. It is pronounced like a B. So we're going to put a B right up next to here just to remind us that this is all B's. So now we have boy, bas, ba, vamos, bais, ban. And remember with this bais right here, this one is only used in Spain. So it's not something that you need to remember or master or completely gain control of, because chances are not likely that you use this one. But it is good to know, and it's good to understand that it does exist right there if you were to go to Spain. Besides this, though, besides having an irregular form, it's really a straightforward word, a straightforward verb. So if we have some examples down here, we could just take boy. So I am going to the store. So let's say boy la tienda la tienda. I am going to the store. Easy, right? Or we can say we are going. So we go or we are going. They all mean the same thing here. So we could say vamos a la biblioteca. And there we have. So I am going to the store. We are going to the library. Anything like that. So if you're saying somebody is going someplace or somebody is going to an activity or to do an activity, you can use ir to say that as well, as if an activity is happening in the future. So let's take a look at that example here. If we wanted to say van a estudiar. They are going to study. And we just have that there. Now, we chose these examples because they illustrate a couple of the phrases that are used with ir. So the first thing that we need to have is ir plus a, which is this situation here. So we have a form of ir like this, right? Voy, vamos, van, anything like that. So you have the form of ir that you're going to use, and right directly behind it is the word a. So voy a la casa. Vas a la biblioteca. Va a I'm blanking here. La fruteria. Okay? Anything like that. So, that is pretty straightforward because you're just saying to this place. And you have to say to the place that you're talking about. The other thing that we need to address is if you are doing a activity. Okay, so like here we said they are going to study. And the study is left in the infinitive. And remember, the infinitive is when the word is left in its simplest, basic form without changing this at all. Because we're saying to study, to swim, to dance, to draw, anything like that, right? To do that activity needs the R. So ir plus a plus infinitive. And that is what we need to know. So we'd say vas a escuchar música. Vamos a jugar videojuegos. Vais a bailar. Anything like that. But all of those have to end in R. So there we have the verb ir. And as you saw, it does have some irregularities. The form is different. There's not an exact pattern that you need to follow. There is a pattern to it. And hopefully this helped to highlight and show the pattern that does exist to help you understand and learn and memorize it a little bit easier. But since we're going to be using it all the time, you're going to have plenty and plenty of practice. So get comfortable with it. Get used to it. It is here to stay. It is a super, super handy word to have in your toolbox. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Hasta luego.